Matt, would you like to tell us a little bit about what's going on?
Well, explain the project.
Yeah.
Okay, so just the overview.
Yeah.
Alright, okay, so what it is an augmented reality sandbox. So augmented reality is like a combination of the real and digital world. How it works is an Xbox One Connect sensor over there. So that's just like an Xbox One accessory. And that can capture about 270,000 depth points all across the sandbox. Each one of those points then are sent into the program written in C++, and based on the height value, it'll convert it to a color value and add contour lines to the terrain as well. So once all of that image has been processed for the one frame, it just projects straight back onto the sandbox. So like, you can see the contour lines are changing, things like that. I've also got color themes, you can change the contour spacing. I'm also going to add fluid simulation as well, so you'll be able to say click somewhere on the laptop or raise your hand above the sandbox, and they were generated some simulated water. Sorry, but I didn't have enough time to do that.
What was the software that computes the ISO lines?
It's called Martian Squares. So
okay.
Yeah, it's pretty simple algorithm.
Did you like use a library?
No, I wrote the code myself.
You wrote it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well done. Well done.
Well, it took about 2 days to write, but I thought it'd take a lot longer. But, I had a few problems with it, but there's about 200 lines of a switch statement to calculate each case. But yeah, so it was pretty easy.
Well done.
And the FPS is quite tight within the contour line spacing as well. So if you don't have any contours at all, the FPS will be a lot higher. But if you have them too close together, it might slow it down. So,
yeah, you can see. Trying to get something as high as possible.
There's one problem as well. So because the projection is not coming from a straight above, it's getting distorted a bit.
Yeah.
But I would be able to. You'd be able to compensate for that with ray tracing. But I didn't realise that until like when I was writing the dissertation. So I'm hoping to be able to carry on programming this and release it on GitHub after I finish uni. So I'll hopefully fix things like that as well.
Cool. Nice. What are your plans when you graduate for next year, for example?
I'm probably not going to do masters. Probably look for a job. Okay, so I haven't started yet.
Okay.
I need to start soon.
Worry about that when the time comes. Thank you.
Thanks.
Work out. Bring it back. So in your life, that's why once we can start just getting that large quantities of data and start putting into neural networks.
Right, okay, so you know.
So what I want to do is looking at how we can start interacting with consumers, and I think one of the biggest challenges of that is not useful like a camera or mobile phone.
Yeah.
So you've got to make it cheap. Or you've got to invest a lot of money, which is last one Facebook said they were going to do. So
EEG devices on
they
Facebook.
haven't specified. They've said last month they said they had for a year 60 academics and researchers working on some way of some kind of human-computer interface. They didn't specify how it worked, but from the images it looked like they were going to
device.
Yeah.
Have you heard of a thing in recent years about using brainwaves to control things? Because I mean, I think also military, you can guess that the military are always 10, 20 years ahead of us. So I'm guessing that it was using, you've seen Firefox, the Clint Eastwood film where he has a sort of, Bob knows what I'm talking about. He uses thoughts to control missiles in this prototype new aircraft. I won't tell you anything more about it, I don't want to give it away, but thought control of aircraft. But I gather that that has been, it was in the news within the last year. Someone oh, wait a minute, it was it was with MRI scanners, and they were detecting the people in comas were actually still, they were in a coma, but they were still
Hey Andrew. Andrew, are you going to tell us about your project?
So my project looks into the history of railway signalling in the United Kingdom, from like policemen waving flags up to fixed signals, semaphores, so a stick with a pivoted arm, and then moves on to things like token working for single line sections of track. So you've got a single section of track and you have to possess a token in order to use that. Then it moves on to the more modern colour light signals, like the traffic lights you'll see on the streets, but on the railways they typically use 4 lights. And then we move on to considering an emerging European standard for railway signalling. It's called ELTMS, and it's looking to eventually digitise signalling completely, remove all the trackside equipment, and then also works to sort of reduce the problems you have when you're moving between countries, so you don't have any cross-border problems. And the major thing with ELTMS is it can increase the capacity of the UK's railway network if we upgrade to this new standard by up to 40%. And we can even look at things like complete automation of train services, although a lot of people like to have a driver on for that. They don't trust computers yet.
What's this kit that you have?
This kit that I've got here, which helpfully just derailed. I knocked it. So we've got 2 Arduinos here and a section of track. And within this section of track, 5 points, there are 2 different types of sensor. One sensor detects the light levels hitting the track, and the other sensor detects the magnetic field around it. And as this train moves up and down, it will induce a magnetic field that's picked up by these Hall effect sensors. And then this display on my computer here will update red when the train is at a particular point along the track. It's just meant to track the train as it moves. And then when the computer sees that the train has reached the end of the track, it makes it reverse.
Okay.
It's just...
Can you give us a demo?
I'll try.
I dare say
You're not cheating, are you?
I had the wrong button tipped when I put it on the track. You can edit that out, right?
Yeah. Nice one. Good? Well done.
It should be able to.
This one is so popular. I
I'm not that quite there.
I don't know where the space is, but you can press B in it. It's actually pretty good, to be fair. Like, you know when you get you know, like when you look over, yeah, the change when you look at like the floor, and it's look at like that. That looks really good.
Hey Joe. Where's your phone, sir? Okay, I'm going to come down and ask you a few questions. Yeah?
Okay, yeah. I'll go around.
Okay.
You want to go through?
Hi. One person. No pressure, Joe, no pressure.
Yeah.
Happy Thursday, Bob.
Happy Thursday.
Say happy Thursday to the camera.
Okay, Joe, are you ready to give us a little
I have my
summary
demo as
of
well.
your amazing project?
Yes.
Good.
I'm doing data visualization in the healthcare.
Okay.
Oh, am I in view?
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't get too far away.
Yeah. Okay. And what I used Java, I used Qt. I used a bit of deeply like back end code.
Nice.
I used Aquilium to test. I ran 5 different test cases. I ran authenticity. I ran code that it runs if I had a login system, so it would test to see that if someone wasn't in the database, would they be let in? If there's like an error with the password, would they be let in? And then that was tested as true. And then I have C++, so I created 2 separate apps. But my C++ was I was new to that, so
What is your project about?
it's about visualizing data. So in the healthcare, the data set I used was between 2013 and 2015, and it was on the epidemics of like headaches to migraines. So when people would check into the hospital saying they have a headache, and then it increased to migraines. So I had the age group of age 10 to 56, and my data set, as you can see here, is quite large. So I had it ranging from 2015 right down to the end.
You can see it. Okay.
And then my visualizations range from visual mind maps to trees. I have pie chart. I have a pie chart as well. And my GUI was I had used online backend code as well, but basically I included drag and drop features, which was pretty cool because I had never done that before. So you can drag your data in and immediately implement it straight from the GUI. So that's quite nice. And then I also have hover over mouse features. So if you hover over a specific bar chart, the value comes up of the information. Yeah. And then I'm using NHS health data. I implemented, Tableau has online implementation of the data you send through, and you can use like cloud data. So in my future work, I want to be able to do that. I implement in my GUI at the beginning. If you go to the import section, I have various options that you can choose, from Excel to I got CSV. Then I have your Google. You can use your Google Drive over here. I have Twitter, Facebook. So if you have a Facebook poll, it can scan in the poll data, and then it will show the visualizations. But my Google Drive, Twitter, Dropbox, and my CVS doesn't work. That's just like future work, what I want to code. So right now, my Excel spreadsheet works. That's the one I implemented in my code. Yeah. So.
What about next year? What are your plans?
Next year, I may do a master's. it's a possibility, but if not, I will go into full-time work. I have a few offers. I'm looking mostly into visualizing data as well, and I would like to work at mostly data analyst type of area. That's why I chose this specific project, and I wanted to go into like the medical side. That's my motivation. That was what I wanted to go into, but then I fell in love with computer science. So I was like, what can I do in terms of what I'm motivated to do? And so I chose this because it helps the sector if they can understand what data they're working with and it's interpreted properly. So I chose this one. That's why.
Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
How do you pronounce your name? Actually,
Ola.
say it again.
So Ola.
Ola.
Olu.
Ola. Olu.
What? So Ola. Pretty sick.
Carlo, you ready to give an explanation of what your project is?
Yeah, so
Your amazing project.
amazing project. Thank you. I built a software synthesizer, so it's an emulation of just like the old keyboard from the 70s, 80s. You know, it's got a nice Kraftwerky sound. Sounds pretty old, but so it's got two oscillators, and each one can make 5 different shapes. So noise, random, source, per sine. And they got transpose, fine tuning, and phase control, which is kind of the usual. So transpose basically shifts an octave. So it's used like when you got a limited keyboard, you can just shift an octave for each note. Fine tuning, shift the notes, works the same way, and it kind of does, you know, to create chords or playing just one key. And the phase just makes like the waves, instead of like being overlapping, they just kind of like move around, and it makes a fuller kind of sound. Then I implemented 2 filters, so one for each oscillator, and each one's got 3 different filtering capabilities. So low pass, allowing only the low frequency to go. High pass is the opposite, no pass, just flat response.
You're going to give us some demos?
Yeah, definitely.
You need an amplifier.
Yeah, I would, but there's not enough plugs for everything and the speakers. So it cuts out all the low frequencies and it sounds really annoying. Let's see if I can make something. Alright, so we can you see now it kind of like changes it. And if I change the transpose, now the 2 notes are different octaves, so it's playing the 2 different frequencies. And the same goes with fine tuning. Now they're playing 2 different notes. So the different filters, because it depends depends on the wave you use it. So like a saw is easier to cut out like lower frequencies, while a sine does not really. It's got the equalizer, as you suggested.
Yeah, good.
So for this I basically put two peak filters, so you kind of just elevate the frequency that happens a little bit. Then you got ADSR and low. So that brings the attack fast level. So you can make it faster. Very nice, very nice. One way or the other, everything in between. Master control, so with this one you can choose which wave you want to hear at once. So this is also this one is all sine, and then you can do a mix. So trying to just find the sound. Then you got gain control for the oscillator. Same with the mid filters, so you can choose which filters you want to hear the most, so the high pass or the low pass. And again, master volume is the same. Reverb is actually very nice. This gives a bit of an oldish kind of sound. So it's got the usual control damping, room size.
Good, good.
But yeah, sometimes you get a sound a bit more like sci-fi. There's a compressor as well, different ratio.
What was the inspiration behind this project?
It was just like, I was trying to create something that I would like using to make my projects, you know, because if you want to go for commercial synthesizers, they're really, really expensive. Most of the time overkill, really, because they're made more like sound engineers, and they're trying to just make that one sound that is going to make whatever track perfect. And yeah, I should have done it landscape. While the free ones, you know, they're just, some of them are really complex and some others are just like, and I'm sorry, I'll make one that has all the features I need, you know, the way I want them, with the controls they, and with an interface that is fairly easy to use. You know, once you know more or less, I mean, even if you don't know what each feature does, you can just mess around with it and see how it changes the sound. But if you do know, the controls are basics and they're all there.
Good, good, well done.
I'm quite happy, sounds come out. I mean, I got improvements to do, but I'm quite happy.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about your amazing project?
Yeah, very amazing. Unbelievable.
Good, good. That's what we like to hear.
Well, I was adding a new aspect to a to-do list. So I'm putting in a tree structure. So you know, the basic to-do list is usually like this, but I was trying to give it more depth, so a person can organize their work, so they can have, like, let's say, cleaning, and then under cleaning they could have tasks, or they could have a subdivision, like bedroom, living room, and so on. So this kind of returns all the folders within your database, and this kind of shows you which is apparent of which. And this is like an overview of all tasks, so you don't have to do searching. So you don't need to find the child of this to keep up, you can just kind of look it over. So you can log in.
Your poster is unusually long, it looks like. What size is that?
I got it printed in a hurry, and I thought we needed to do something more conventional. And yes, apparently not. server and client, same thing. It takes a while.
Okay. Nice.
So technically, so it shows you the list of tasks in your folder, so you can add to them or delete them. I don't want to delete this because it's seeded, so deleting it is not happy with the system.
Okay.
So you have a couple of folders, a couple of tasks. If you're done with it, it turns green. If you're not, it turns black. Add a new task. So technically it's just giving the user a little more action.
Okay, good.
And because everybody likes to see, disappear. When you look at a to-do list, you don't want, when people look at a to-do list, they don't want to have to keep searching for it. You just want to see it and then keep up with it. Because even when you write it on paper, you put it somewhere you can see, which is what I'm returning the list, so you can keep up with what's happening, so you don't have to, and keep it as a one-page application, so you don't have to go back and forth.
Yeah.
So that's basically it.
What was your inspiration? Like, why did you choose this project? Because you're so busy?
No, to be honest, I looked at the project and I thought...
You're not very well organized?
I am not, to be honest. That is the irony of it. I am not. I'm making a task management app, but it was like... It took making the app to start getting organized.
Exercise. Yeah, which is good. Very good, very good. And the candy, what is the candy for?
Bribery?
Okay. Very good, very good. Victoria, would you like to tell us a little bit about what your project is all about?
Okay, so basically it's about reducing the impact of adverse drug reactions, and adverse drug reactions happen or are aggravated when a patient starts new medication or something changes in their lifestyle. And a study was just published in November. In the past 5 years, it's gone up by about 54% of adverse drug reactions, emergency admissions. So basically it's about providing an application that can help physicians and nurses identify them in patients and help reduce the amount of hospital admissions due to it. The paper-based system did already exist before. It's about 7 sides of an A4 piece of paper. This has been tested in UK care homes. It's been found to be effective in reporting more adverse drug reactions, helping identify problems in patients' diet and health aspects. It's even a feature of the current medications that there are, as well as allergies and stuff they have, and just their diet as a product last year. So this gets a really thorough overview of the patient's health, and then this is digitised into a web app to basically help tackle some of the limitations that are present on paper-based profiling. So basically it provides validation on all the input fields. So if any erroneous data is put in, it just stops that being saved or recorded. It also presents warnings, so if a measurement say for heart rate or anything, or their weight is put as irregular, it won't stop the patient from saving all their data, but it will just tell the person, you need to keep an eye on this could be a problem. And basically also it's cut down a lot on the guidelines. So on the back of his profile there are 26 pages of guidelines, all pages So
nobody reads.
No. But it's all split up for now. So each problem just on the
Okay. What's the inspiration for you choosing this?
I'm just quite interested. I think, particularly with mental health medications, I just thought it'd be really interesting thing to do. I think this mental health awareness week.
Okay.
And it just sort of spoke to me. It's a really interesting project to look at. The NHS are currently digitising this as well, so I just thought it'd be a quite nice way to liaise with it, because I am interested in how to get within technology.
What are your plans for next year?
Hopefully do a master's.
Okay.
That's the plan. Birmingham, I'm ready to apply. Yeah.
Okay, that's exciting. I like Birmingham. about your project?
Yeah, sure. Have you heard of the sandbox? The Zika virus?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, basically.
Speak up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, what I'm trying to do is try to find associations between flies, how flies basically affect the infection of Zika virus in travelers. And I used as tools, I used SQL Server to clean and manage all the data because I had, in the beginning, I had 3 sources sets of data. And one of them I gathered it from CDC, which is the Center for Control and Prevention of Diseases. And the other 2 basic flights in airports and synthesizer, which I got it from flights on one side. And this took most of the time trying to manage all the data. And then what I did was the target file, I combined everything, and I used it to my phone. And I tried to apply algorithms. So basically we found the most important tools, the most frequent tools that I could find. And what I found was basically the rate, the number of cases starts to increase in January and February. And then April is the month that is most dangerous for people to come and travel. And this is due to the mosquitoes basically just being attracted to the rainy season. And like because it's very humid, that's when they like most to populate. And like I think this is a good sign of prevention because it could help in the future. Like anyone needs to help anyone to see like okay, I won't travel anymore, I will travel maybe after that when the rate starts to increase. And yeah.
This is our graph showing.
Yeah, it's basically when it starts, so like it starts from November, December, January, and then here it shows like the rate decreases, the increases, the time we have the number of victims, and then here it shows how much of the rate is. So basically in June we start to the number of cases sometimes starts to decrease in June when winter starts.
Your plans next year?
Next year? Well, I think I'll do it. Not making sure it is. Yeah, I think most likely.
Special topic or?
Yeah, I think I'll be doing sports and applications. I'm quite interested in sports, and I quite like to explore the databases. So, not necessarily just tennis, like any kind of
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
very impressive, so go ahead. So this is combining first-person view and social camera with
Essentially, there's a lot of areas that use a basic camera, like a monitor screen, like military drones and stuff, lots of use of the screen. To get the spatial awareness, be able to look around like VR equipment, such as this. Easy to turn the camera like that. View through the batteries dying. Yeah, there's quite a few applications, stuff like a lot of research at the moment into telecommunication. So stuff like in offices or care homes where they have robots with like a tablet and they can drive around and talk on like Skype or something. So this can be a better way of actually being physically somewhere and talking to a person. So you're on the other side of the world, for example.
Is it possible to put it up? I guess it's too crowded to actually.
Yeah, I mean, I did do a video.
What is this for?
My computer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It needs anal USB cables.
Yeah. Would a laptop suffice, or?
It probably would have done, but it's a bit dodgy, so I don't know.
Which, yeah.
Do you guys find that people like to wear those, that thing?
It depends on, I mean, the quality of the camera on this one's probably not as good as it should be, so it does maybe a little bit of sickness for some people.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, so you can see the camera.
Okay.
And obviously it's showing through there.
Interesting.
So the camera rotates, that's done with Bluetooth, so it's Bluetooth to this chip and that's sending the angle data to the Arduino card. And then you've got the radio frequency transmitters for the actual video, so that's linked up with this larger camera.
So you could have like two controls. You got the head-mounted display control and then a remote control for the...
Yeah, so the actual car at the moment is basic. I did write about it a bit. Use some tangible user interfaces, so you could even go full out simulator or something.
Awesome. Thank you, Samuel. Happy Thursday. Tell us a little bit about your project? What's that? You want to show us what's happening? much.